The glittering concrete canyons of New York City have witnessed countless historic moments, yet few evenings in recent memory have carried the absolute breathtaking gravity of this particular summer Friday. As the blazing afternoon sun began its slow descent behind the jagged Manhattan skyline, an palpable wave of electric anticipation rippled through the crowded streets surrounding one of the world's most iconic arenas. For months, the global public had been trapped in a state of feverish speculation, parsing every lyric, analyzing every public appearance, and dissecting every digital footprint left by two of the absolute biggest icons of modern culture. The intersection of global pop royalty and elite professional sports had already captured the collective imagination of millions, but what was unfolding in the heart of the metropolis promised to transcend ordinary celebrity culture entirely. Security forces and local law enforcement had been quietly mobilizing for days, setting up massive perimeters and establishing strict blockades that hinted at an event of unprecedented magnitude. Pedestrians and dedicated fans alike gathered along the heavily guarded barricades, their eyes fixed on the fleet of luxury vehicles with heavily tinted windows that began to snake through the sweltering city streets. Every single detail of the evening had been guarded with an almost military-grade level of secrecy, creating a brilliant aura of mystique that only served to fuel the burning curiosity of onlookers worldwide. Before we dive deeper into the hidden details of this monumental evening and untangle the web of secrets that kept the world guessing, take a quick moment to subscribe to our channel so you never miss an exclusive update on the stories shaping modern culture. As the clock ticked closer to the designated hour, the sheer scale of the gathering became impossible to ignore, drawing the eyes of sports enthusiasts, music historians, and casual observers into a singular focus. The air itself seemed thick with expectation, punctuated by the distant roar of the city and the occasional flash of a camera lens attempting to catch a fleeting glimpse of the arriving elite. Rumors had been swirling through social media platforms for weeks, creating a chaotic tapestry of half-truths and grand theories about who would receive the highly coveted invitations to this historic gathering. To understand the true weight of this moment, one must look back at the incredible journey that brought these two distinct worlds crashing together, blending the high-stakes pressure of stadium sports with the unmatched influence of global chart-topping music. The narrative had captured the hearts of people across continents, serving as a modern fairy tale played out under the harsh, unforgiving glare of the international spotlight. Yet, as the elite of the entertainment industry began to converge on the massive venue, the focus shifted from the grand public narrative to the deeply intimate, intensely private celebration happening just beyond the heavily fortified doors. The contrast between the public frenzy on the streets of Manhattan and the absolute wall of silence maintained by the organizers created a brilliant tension that defined the entire atmosphere of the evening. It was a masterclass in modern event curation, where the absolute highest levels of fame were managed with precision, ensuring that the true core of the evening remained protected from the prying eyes of the outside world. Inside the colossal structure, final preparations were being completed under the watchful eyes of a select few, while outside, the mystery only continued to deepen with every passing minute. Close friends and trusted confidants who had walked alongside the central figures through years of public scrutiny were now arriving, their faces locked behind masks of composed excitement as they prepared to witness history. The sheer star power descending upon the venue was enough to dizzy even the most seasoned observers of high society, with Academy Award winners, legendary musicians, and industry titans stepping out into the humid air. Each arrival was met with a flurry of hushed whispers from the crowd, as people tried to piece together the guest list from the briefest glimpses of formal attire and elegant silhouettes. Amidst this grand tapestry of fame, a parallel drama was quietly unfolding in the digital space, where eagle-eyed fans noticed a peculiar series of social media updates from one of the inner circle's most prominent members. This individual, a multi-talented superstar in her own right who had recently celebrated her own highly publicized romantic milestone, found herself at the absolute center of intense fan scrutiny. Having tied the knot just the previous autumn in a beautiful ceremony that featured many of these same prominent figures, her presence at this weekend's festivities was entirely expected. Yet her initial digital breadcrumb suggested a surprising narrative. Observers quickly pointed out that during the highly exclusive rehearsal dinner held on Thursday evening, this star appeared to be navigating the high-profile gathering entirely on her own, sparking an immediate firestorm of internet rumors. The apparent absence of her husband, a brilliant and highly sought-after music producer known for his eccentric style and chart-topping collaborations, sent shockwaves through dedicated fan communities who analyzed every frame of her uploaded videos. To add fuel to the rapidly spreading fire of speculation, the star posted a poignant message expressing how much she missed her partner, leading many to believe that he had been forced to skip the historic weekend due to professional commitments. This subtle hint of solo attendance stood in stark contrast to the joy of the upcoming nuptials, creating a fascinating subplot that millions of people followed with bated breath as the main event drew near. The digital discourse grew so intense that it threatened to overshadow the meticulously planned timeline of the weekend, proving once again how even the smallest gesture from a celebrity can trigger a global conversation. Meanwhile, the physical preparations in New York continued unabated, with the legendary arena transforming into a sanctuary of elegance quite unlike anything it had ever hosted in its long and storied history. The sheer logistics of converting a space traditionally reserved for massive athletic contests and thunderous concerts into a private, romantic wonderland required months of planning and absolute discretion from hundreds of workers. Every individual involved in the production had been bound by strict legal agreements, ensuring that not a single detail regarding the interior design, the floral arrangements, or the technical staging could leak to the ravenous press. This created a profound sense of isolation around the event, making the surrounding city feel both incredibly close and infinitely far away from the magic transpiring inside. As night began to fall over Manhattan, the exterior of the massive building remained dark and imposing, offering no clues to the spectacular gathering happening within its walls. The anticipation reached a boiling point as the official start time approached, with the world waiting for any sign or confirmation that the grand union had finally taken place. It was a testament to the enduring power of these two figures that they could command the absolute attention of the global media while keeping them entirely at arm's length, maintaining a perfect balance of public grandeur and private intimacy that will undoubtedly be studied for years to come. The wall of absolute secrecy that had enveloped Manhattan for days finally experienced its first brilliant breach precisely at 7:30 on Friday evening, sending an undeniable shockwave across the entire media landscape. In a moment that will forever be etched into the folklore of modern popular culture, the massive glowing exterior facade of Madison Square Garden suddenly illuminated the darkening New York night sky. The legendary arena, which had spent the day surrounded by intense security and sweltering summer heat, announced the historic union to the world with a remarkably playful and stylized forward message that read simply, "Just T&T married." This public declaration served as the official confirmation that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, both 36 years old, had legally and spiritually bound their lives together in front of 1,000 of their closest friends, relatives, and fellow icons. Simultaneously, the couple's long-serving and fiercely protective publicist, Tree Payne, executed a flawless media strike by transmitting a comprehensive email blast to major news outlets worldwide. This official statement peeled back the first layer of the heavily guarded event, revealing that the bride and groom had entrusted their historic wedding wardrobe to the iconic fashion house of Christian Dior Haute Couture. The breathtaking garments were personally crafted by Jonathan Anderson, the acclaimed creative director of Dior women's, men's, and haute couture collections, who worked in absolute, intense collaboration with both Taylor and Travis over several months. This historic partnership marked the legendary designer's very first time creating a custom couture wedding gown for a world-renowned celebrity, ensuring the garments would instantly belong to the annals of fashion history. The official release further noted that the bride completed her ethereal, monumental aesthetic with timeless jewelry from Cartier and custom-designed footwear by Christian Louboutin. Breaking away from traditional wedding formats, the couple chose not to have a standard lineup of bridesmaids or groomsmen. Instead, Taylor's brother Austin Swift stepped into the emotional role of her man of honor, while Travis's brother Jason Kelce stood proudly as the best man. The deeply moving ceremony, which symbolically unified two powerhouse American families, was officially officiated by their longtime mutual friend and Hollywood icon, Adam Sandler, lending a perfectly balanced touch of warmth, humor, and star-studded intimacy to the sacred proceedings. Yet even as these official details trickled out to satisfy the ravenous curiosity of millions, a parallel narrative of intense digital drama and fan scrutiny was reaching its absolute peak online. Selena Gomez, the 33-year-old pop star and actress who has stood as Taylor's most fiercely loyal childhood best friend, found herself navigating a wave of unexpected social media backlash. The controversy erupted earlier in the week when Gomez utilized her personal social media channels while actively en route to the highly exclusive Thursday night rehearsal dinner to showcase a brand new lipstick from her incredibly successful Rare Beauty cosmetic line. The short video clip captured in the plush leather back seat of a luxury vehicle moving through New York traffic featured the star applying the vibrant product, followed closely by a high-definition close-up photograph highlighting the forthcoming makeup release. This promotional move drew immediate and sharp criticism from circles of dedicated fans who felt that using the ultra-private, intensely guarded wedding festivities as a marketing backdrop crossed a delicate line, potentially risking the legendary ire of the bride herself. The stakes were incredibly high, given that inside sources had previously revealed that every single guest, including immediate family members and lifelong friends, had been legally required to sign strict non-disclosure agreements before receiving a single piece of logistical information regarding the venue or timeline. The tension only amplified when Gomez's initial posts from Thursday evening prominently featured her navigating the star-studded rehearsal dinner in a gorgeous, elaborate lacy black gown, yet completely lacking any visual sign of her husband. 38-year-old music producer Benny Blanco, having celebrated her own beautiful wedding to Blanco just the previous September, an event that Taylor Swift herself famously attended amidst massive public adoration. Fans immediately noticed the contrast and began to feverishly speculate that Blanco was noticeably absent from the historic weekend. The internet was flooded with complex theories suggesting professional scheduling conflicts or sudden disagreements, especially after Gomez uploaded a cryptic update explicitly mentioning how deeply she missed her partner during the high-stakes gathering. However, as Friday's main event concluded and the reception began to roar to life inside the fortified walls of Madison Square Garden, the actress decisively set the record straight and silenced the global rumor mill. She uploaded a series of incredibly romantic, deeply affectionate photographs showcasing the couple dressed in their absolute finest wedding attire, confirming that Blanco had indeed been her dedicated date for the historic night. In the breathtaking images, Gomez dazzled the digital world in a shimmering, beautifully structured gold gown that radiated pure Hollywood glamour, while her husband looked exceptionally sharp and sophisticated in a classic tailored black suit, complete with a traditional bow tie. This sudden revelation brought a wave of relief and joy to their massive global fan base, serving as a powerful reminder of the intense, unforgiving spotlight that constantly tracks the movements of the inner circle. Meanwhile, the sheer scale of the main celebrations inside the converted sports arena was defying all conventional expectations of what a celebrity wedding could be. Outside, the New York Police Department had fully mobilized, shutting down major thoroughfares in the sweltering heat as a relentless parade of blacked-out luxury SUVs brought the absolute pinnacle of global stardom to the venue's secure entrances. Legendary filmmaker Steven Spielberg, music titans Jay-Z and Beyoncé, iconic rock star Sir Paul McCartney, and international talk show host Graham Norton were all spotted entering the secure perimeter, creating a collective concentration of cultural influence that felt entirely historic. The bride's celebrated inner circle of close confidants was out in absolute full force, ensuring she felt completely supported during the most significant day of her private life. The monumental day had actually begun in a deeply sentimental, intimate fashion, with Taylor choosing to complete her extensive bridal preparations at the private residence of her longtime best friend and supermodel Gigi Hadid. From there, her trusty squad of lifelong allies, including the newly vindicated Selena Gomez, acclaimed creator Lena Dunham, vocal powerhouse Ellie Goulding, Hollywood starlet Dakota Johnson, and her cherished childhood best friend Abigail Anderson Berard, remained steadfastly by her side through every emotional step of the morning. In a twist that sent shockwaves through pop music historians, a surprising and highly significant appearance was made by former close friend Karlie Kloss, who looked absolutely stunning in a flowing gold dress alongside her husband Joshua Kushner. The high-profile appearance effectively signaled the public end of a rumored years-long feud that had captivated the internet ever since the model's past association with the singer's former musical nemesis, Scooter Braun, which had famously caused Swift to skip Kloss's own 2019 wedding. On the groom's side, the atmosphere was thick with camaraderie and athletic triumph, As Travis Kelce was surrounded by his legendary brother Jason, a large contingent of his supportive Kansas City Chiefs teammates, and his absolute closest lifelong friends Ross Travis and Eric Jones. This fascinating convergence of corporate executives, legendary musicians, Hollywood movie stars, elite professional athletes, and international supermodels transformed the iconic arena into an absolute crucible of human achievement and romance. Yet, just as the ceremony reached its absolute climax and the couple officially exchanged their sacred vows, nature itself decided to contribute to the unforgettable drama of the evening. A sudden, powerful summer downpour swept violently across the island of Manhattan, unleashing a dramatic curtain of rain over the bustling city streets just moments after the couple uttered the words "I do." For the famously superstitious and deeply lyrical bride, who has spent her decades-long career writing romantic anthems about dancing in the rain, this sudden meteorological shift was universally recognized by those inside as an undeniable sign of ultimate good luck and cosmic approval. The spectacular storm provided a cinematic backdrop, framing the glass and steel of the city as the newly minted husband and wife turned their backs on the outside world to kick off a reception that would be talked about for generations. As the dramatic summer storm continued to lash the exterior of Madison Square Garden, washing clean the historic streets of Manhattan, the hidden world inside the arena transformed into a breathtaking sanctuary of musical history and deep familial celebration. This final chapter of the monumental weekend represented the absolute fulfillment of a narrative that the global public had watched unfold across stadium screens and international concert stages. For Taylor Swift, this evening was not merely a high-profile marriage between global cultural icons, it was the ultimate real-world realization of an elaborate romantic mythology she had meticulously fantasized about and woven into the very fabric of her chart-topping songs for over 2 decades. The transition from the sacred solemnity of the ceremony to the unrestrained joy of the reception marked the moment where the intense pressure of the global spotlight completely melted away, replaced by an atmosphere of pure artistic magic and profound human connection. The bride, still radiating elegance in her historic custom Christian Dior haute couture gown, chose to commemorate the defining moment of her personal life by doing exactly what has defined her public existence. She took to the beautifully designed interior stage to directly serenade her new husband, Travis Kelce, creating an unforgettable core memory in front of a deeply moved audience consisting entirely of the planet's most celebrated artists, close childhood friends, and beloved family members. In a musical collaboration that instantly shattered the boundaries of conventional celebrity entertainment, the pop star did not perform entirely alone. Instead, she was reportedly joined on stage by rock and roll royalty, including the legendary Stevie Nicks and the timeless Sir Paul McCartney. The sheer historical weight of these icons sharing an intimate stage to celebrate a marriage felt entirely unprecedented, yet because of the incredibly ironclad non-disclosure agreements enforced throughout the venue, not a single video clip or audio recording leaked to the outside world, preserving the absolute sanctity of the performance for those who were actually in the room. This complete media blackout only served to elevate the event's legendary status, allowing the couple and their guests to experience a rare, unvarnished moment of genuine human celebration, completely free from the performative demands of the modern digital landscape. To understand why this union carried such immense emotional weight for millions of observers worldwide, one must look closely at the remarkable individual journeys that brought these two titans together from entirely different corners of American culture. Taylor Swift's path to this Madison Square Garden stage had been defined by a relentless, highly publicized search for an authentic partner who could match the terrifying scale of her global influence without being eclipsed by it. For years, her highly scrutinized romantic life had served as both a source of profound artistic inspiration and a target for relentless tabloid speculation, making her private happiness seem like an elusive dream. Travis Kelce, conversely, had spent his life navigating the ultra-competitive, hyper-masculine world of elite professional sports, conquering the National Football League through sheer athletic brilliance, charismatic leadership, and a larger-than-life personality that captured the hearts of millions of sports fans. When their two distinct orbits violently collided, it created a massive cultural phenomenon that bridged the gap between the stadium-sized fervor of professional football and the fiercely loyal, global community of pop music enthusiasts. Their relationship quickly became a beautiful testament to mutual respect and public support, with Kelsey proudly standing amidst stadium crowds during her record-breaking international tours and Swift becoming a regular, highly celebrated fixture in the executive suites of professional football stadiums. This shared journey of mutual elevation culminated perfectly in the absolute grandeur of Friday's wedding, proving to a fascinated global audience that true partnership could thrive even under the absolute highest levels of public scrutiny. The celebration also served as a profound moment of reflection for the tight-knit circle of friends who had anchored the couple throughout their tumultuous rise to international prominence. The presence of Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco at the heart of the festivities highlighted the deep, enduring bonds of loyalty that exist within the highest echelons of the entertainment industry. Gomez, who had navigated the complex transition from childhood stardom to global cultural icon alongside Taylor, stood as a living witness to the emotional struggles and artistic triumphs that paved the way to this historic evening. Her own recent marriage to Blanco just the previous September had served as a crucial precursor to this weekend, demonstrating to their inner circle that true romantic stability was entirely achievable despite the chaotic demands of global fame. The mutual support displayed between these powerhouse couples underscored a larger theme of emotional maturity and artistic camaraderie that defined the entire weekend. Shifting the narrative away from superficial celebrity gossip toward a deeper appreciation for lifelong friendship and creative collaboration. As the late-night celebrations began to wind down and the first hints of dawn threatened to break over the damp Manhattan skyline, the guests slowly filtered out of the historic arena, carrying with them the profound awareness that they had just witnessed a definitive turning point in modern popular culture. The legendary venue, which has hosted historic political conventions, championship sporting events, and monumental musical concerts, had now added what is arguably the most spectacular celebrity wedding in recent human memory to its storied archives. The simple, luminous forward message that